I have been banking with JPM Chase and WAFT for many years now. JPM Chase Bank has acknowledged that they are aware of the Iraq currency revaluation someday, but have no timeline, as has WAFT. I can't imagine any bank employee trying to run business away, even potential someday business. This is Con Baba. Today, December 25th evening. Our rate should be better at the redemption center. Dinar and Dong, and I know they re-gone na, be a lot better on Dinar, especially because we know there's a contract rate on Dinar that will be offered to us that is extremely high. Okay, not at the bank, but at the redemption centers. Just so you know, these guys are in a stage of getting ramped up for production for the construction and reconstruction efforts of the country like they've even never seen in modern history. The new era is coming upon Iraq. Let us hope they have a previous era takeoff in a real effective exchange rate to help boost that private sector and industrial capacities that they have going. When they release the new rate in country, will it be international? Will we be able to exchange, or will there be a delay in between? When the CBI releases the new exchange rate, that's it. It's automatic. There's only one exchange rate. There aren't two from Iraq. From the source in Fallujah. And this source was saying that we would have the Iraqi 2024 budget in the Gazette over this weekend. That would be Saturday or Sunday. Iraq and Britain discuss preparations for Sudan's visit to the United Kingdom and ways to enhance partnership and cooperation between the two countries. This isn't the old days. It's a progress of education that they are teaching us, and they are teaching their people. They're telling the world what they're doing. The big money. They know how this is rolling, and they can see this. These are the things we should feel good about, because this is showing us big things are happening. The President of the Republic approves a number of laws, including the 2024 budget schedules. It is nearing the mid of December already. Recently we witnessed a surge of news from many of the prominent global entities, including the UN, World Bank, IMF, and the EU, all of them praising Iraq and giving kudos to them for the hard work and achievements. Today is not different, as the articles once again tell the RV spigot is wide open to the RV. Until Iraq creates such conditions, passes laws, encourage investment, and Iraq begins to diversify away from dependence on oil, nothing will happen with the Iraqi dinar. I understand why people are frustrated. The dinar itself is not a scam, but people do use the dinar to commit scams. The European Union announced the Iraqi government has achieved development in international investment. There was a signing of the Singapore Convention on Mediation. Parliamentary law challenges the 2025 budget tables, and the federal government is waiting for an answer within 15 days. The appeal was submitted on the pretext that the numbers mentioned in the budget items will change, and thus this is considered a change to the law, and requires the implementation of a new law with a first and second reading, and final approval. What does the coming period mean in Iraq time? It means in the near proximal future, the parallel market will be appended. Expected decision from the central bank will confuse markets and raise exchange rates. These decisions will lead to an increase in the dollar exchange rate. When you're talking about the parallel market, you're talking about a black market, an illegal market. That's subverting the platforms to get the dollar. That's coming to an end. They're saying, parallel market, you're going to have a problem. If you do fix it, you're going to get hurt if you're holding dollars and not dinar. They're giving them Iraqi citizens using the black market's numerous warnings to get out of the dollar. How is Iraq going to do business in the international market with such a low currency rate? This is why Iraq will need to increase the value of its currency. Currency values act as a silent force influencing a country's global competitiveness. When a country's currency value is low, it can impact its ability to compete. The Iraqi economy is witnessing remarkable growth, which was contributed to the decline in the dollar exchange rate. 1,320, that's where we're at. The official exchange rate. If they were to adjust and drop the 3 zeros, what's that become? 1.32 to the dollar. That transition can happen in a fast and furious manner. The least amount of shock to the markets, that's when it could occur. I personally only believe it removing the 3 zeros. Means removing 3-0 notes from circulation, not 3 zeros off the exchange rate, to avoid the dreaded word, LOP. Futures slide as bond yields spike to a 3-week high. We are watching an inverted bond market. We are watching the short-term bonds outbid and out-earn the long-term bonds. I was always told this is key to the reset, and we are watching it live. This bond market is in shambles. I was always told to watch for this just before the reset, and to watch for the HCL law to be passed in Iraq. We are now watching them as we approach the finish line. Central Bank of Iraq, there are no current plans to print new currency. What that tells me is people don't have to worry about a LOP or redenomination, because in order for you to have a redenomination or a LOP, you have to create new currencies. It also tells me they not creating the lower denominations, which means they going to stick with the currency they currently have. Some people see this as the glass half full. Some people look at it as the glass is half empty. There's an article that says, we're not going to come out with the lower denominations because it and affect the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. What are you, stupid? I'm talking to the media. The media is owned by the far nasty side, and they don't want this to happen. They do want anyone to know about the monetary reform success, so they put out information that are a little misleading. Of course they're going to come out with lower denims, remove the 3 zeros, add value to the currency. That's what they've been telling you. This article is directly from the CBI IMF reports at S consultation with Iraq on Article 7 for 2024. They want us to know how exceptionally things have gone, how they have changed the reserve requirements, and how Iraq has already met the reserve requirements. Iraq's banks hold 18% reserves. US banks only hold 2%. Banks in Iraq are much safer than US banks. This is part of moving to phase 2 of the white papers and economic reforms. Thank you for watching.